average man, the average woman. Beware their love. Their love is average, seeks average. They will attempt to destroy anything that differs from their own. Not being able to create art, they will not understand art. Stay out of the clutches of mediocrity. Invent yourself, and then reinvent yourself. Change your tone and shape so often that they can never categorize you. Reinvigorate yourself and accept what is, but only on the terms that you have invented and reinvented. Be self-taught and reinvent your life because you must. It is your life and its history and the present belong only to you. Having friends can hurt you if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. You really want to do it, and you do it. And the worst odds, and it will be better than anything else you can imagine. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. He can't beat death, but he can beat death in life, sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight. Beware those who seek constant crowds, for they are nothing alone. Beware the average man, the average woman. Beware their love. Their love is average, seeks average. They will attempt to destroy anything that differs from their own. Not being able to create art, they will not understand art. Stay out of the clutches of mediocrity. Invent yourself, and then reinvent yourself. Change your tone and shape so often that they can never categorize you. Reinvigorate yourself and accept what is, but only on the terms that you have invented and reinvented. Be self-taught and reinvent your life because you must. It is your life, and its history and the present belong only to you. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it.
Okay, so we are live. I want to make sure you can hear me before we start. So if you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. I've seen someone said he can see me, but I want to know if you can hear me. If you can hear me clearly, let me know in the comment section before we continue. So tonight, what we want to look at is, okay, good. So what we're looking at is first class grades. This is a series, and I made it a series that I want to dwell on throughout this November, from now till mid-November, to explain getting first class grades in university, how you go about it, and stuff like that. So I started putting out content on this stuff recently on TikTok, on Instagram, and I found out that so many people, so many students, especially those in probably 100 level, 200 level, want to get first class grades or second class upper grades, which is a very good thing. However, most people don't get to achieve it sometimes. You know, when we look at the ratio of those that get these first class grades to the ratio of those that don't, it's the ratio of those that get it is very low compared to those that don't get it. So we're going to dwell on that topic this night, and I would like you to get your notes and pen because you might need to jot certain things down. I don't just want you to just come here and just listen and go. I want you to take note of certain things so that you can implement them. Okay, so that you can implement them. So before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself a little. Really know me that much. My name is Olakainde Hanif, and I'm a 300 level computer science student. I'm currently on a 5.0 CGPA, and in my university, I hold tutorials, physical tutorials for students. I started the tutorials back in 2023, and before that, it was not something that was really done in my university like that. It was not really done in my university like that. So, and the first year when we started, at the end of the first year, we had two 5.0 CGPA students from that first set, 2023, a boy and a girl. The girl was in nursing department. The guy was also in computer science. So by the time we moved on to the next batch, which was the 2024-2025 set, another batch, the experience of everything I put into the next batch. And my goal then was that I want to get at least like 20 persons that get that 5.0 CGPA. Luckily enough, I was able to get 8 students that got 5.0 CGPA, that is 5.0 GPA. Some of them had 5.0 first semester, 5.0 second semester, while some had 5.0 second semester, and most of them came from nursing. So apart from that, we had so many first class students, people that it only remained one. They got all A's, just one B. So if not for that B, they would also have gotten 5.0. So I decided to also share these things online to other students because I don't want to limit it to my school alone. So that's just a brief, introduction as to who I am and why I should be considered fit to explain certain things like this. So before I continue, I would like to, I want us to start from the basics, from the fundamentals. And for those that are in higher levels, maybe you're in 200 level or 300 level or 400 level, you might need to just be a little bit patient with me now because I want to try to carry the freshers along. Most students from secondary school have have gotten admission to university, and I want to make sure that your case is not like the case of people, because most students end up finishing their 100 level with low GPA, low result, whereas 100 level is the place that you're supposed to have gotten the best result you could get. I get a lot of DMs daily, mainly on TikTok, from students that watch my content. And most people that complain about this CGPA stuff are maybe 200 level or 300 level students. They might come up with something like, maybe someone messaged me today that he has a low CGPA, 2 point something after 100 level. Can he still graduate with first class? Can he still, someone else came with 3 point something. Although I had to encourage them and tell them what to do, but I felt bad because that 100 level that you missed it was the easiest place. So I would like to carry the freshers along and explain these things. The first thing everybody needs to know, especially you that is just getting admission into university, is 100 level is the easiest level it can ever be. See, it is very important that you make your goal in university to be graduating with either first class or second class upper. Yes, I know that in the world we are now, especially Nigeria, there is no much weight attached to education because most people think, in fact, it's not most people, it's just our reality. But at the end of the day, if you graduate with the results, what will you will not see job, or you will not see something, or the result will not be useful for you. It is true and it is not true. I'll explain both ways. It is true in the sense that sadly, that's our reality, especially in Nigeria. Look at most people that have graduated with first class. They don't have jobs. Now, it's a sad reality, but it is not true because most people don't know how to use it. And that is why I created this series. All these things, we're going to be doing it every Friday. I'm going to be opening you up to certain opportunities that you need to start applying for from now as a student. In fact, there are some opportunities that you cannot get them once you enter 300 level. You can only get it in 100 level or 200 level. Scholarship opportunities. As a student, you need to understand that the level you are now, you don't know what you are going to be later in life. Nobody knows. It's not guaranteed. So all we do is, okay, we have what we want in mind. Everybody wants to be rich and all of that. But you don't know what exactly you are going to do. That is why at this point in your time, At this point in your life, the best thing you could do for yourself is leave all doors open. What do I mean by leave all doors open? Anything you can do towards your success, do it. Form connections with people. You don't know who might be the person that will open the doors for you tomorrow. Maybe start that hustle or whatever. But what the point I want to bring out is you don't drop out of school, number one, and you make sure you graduate with at least first class or second class upper. Because there are so many opportunities, scholarship opportunities that could come from you graduating with a first class, that could come from you graduating with a second class upper. As I am now, I've benefited from a lot of scholarship opportunities whilst I'm still in the university. Like I said, there was one scholarship opportunity that I applied for last year, because when I was still in 200 level, that scholarship opportunity is only for 100 and 200 level students. Now that I'm in 300 level, I can't, go for that scholarship opportunity again. Had it been I didn't have first class, 5.0 CGPA, I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity, that scholarship opportunity, because there were over 500 plus students that applied. So because most people don't know about these things, or they don't search for it, or they don't inquire about these opportunities, at the end of the day, the first class that you get will waste. And if you are somebody that comes from a less privileged home, papa no get, mama no get, most of us come from that background. If you are somebody that come from a background, maybe say mama no get, papa no get, you should make sure you maximize every opportunity you see. There's some scholarship opportunities that could take you abroad. There's some scholarship opportunities that could pay for your tuition fee right now while you are still in university. There's some scholarship opportunities that could grant you grants, funds, money whilst you are still in the university. But you cannot get them if you don't have a first class grade, if you don't have at least second class upper. Those two, you can't get them. You might get them if you know somebody. That is why I said, if you come from a less privileged home, papa no get, mama no get, you have to do everything to get that first class. So I just wanted to make that known first before we continue, so that you know the importance, or you know how you channel getting first class. It might not give you your dream job, yes, but it has a greater chance, a greater possibility to give you scholarship opportunities that will be so useful to you in your life, especially when you come from a less privileged home. So I have my notes. I've prepared my notes, what we want to talk about tonight. So I don't want to beat around the bush too much. So let's get into it. The first thing about this first class stuff is most students make mistakes. Most of you make mistakes around this getting first class. That's why most people don't get first class. I saw a post one day where I think the best graduating student from a particular university, I don't want to mention the university so that it will not be as if I'm bashing them. The best graduating student came out and she was like, she was the best graduating student with a first class CGPA of 4.9 something. And she said she used to read for 9 hours straight without eating, being hungry. You know, really need all those ones that you should read for 10, 12, 15 hours without eating. No, it might have worked for her, but many of us get first class without doing all of that. I don't stress like that, that I want to read. I don't even like reading too much. And there are many of us like that, that you say you want to read 10 hours straight, 12 hours straight, for what happened? Now you kill Jesus. So you just have to understand how to do it. The first thing I want us to look at is the mistakes that most students make when they are trying to get that first class grade. Because I need you to avoid those mistakes first before we now even go to what you should do. There are some students that they will leave secondary school brilliant, very brilliant. You self, check yourself. Secondary school, you dey hot, you dey ball. If you no even really dey ball like that, but the book dey, e dey body, e dey small, say e dey there, the book is there. So many students like that. But by the time you enter university, you will just see that kilo shele, what's going on? This book is not there again. No, it happens. And that's because what you are coming with in secondary school is not what is in university. There's some students that normal from secondary school, they used to read. They can use their entire life to read. But then that same student will come to university, use their entire life to read, and she boy will not see. So the first thing you need to take note of is that university is not like secondary school where it's going to be very easy for you to pass. There are so many factors that could come against you to prevent you from getting good grades. In some universities, lecturers are one of those factors. The way the questions come is another factor. The fact that lecturers will not even explain well is another factor. So if you are a fresher, I don't want you to enter into university with the mentality that, okay, the way I was reading, the way I read for my JAM, the way I prepared for my JAM, I should just put the same energy. Most people put the same energy and they still get zero, or they don't get something high. So you need to change your mindset. Your mindset should be, this is a new environment. This is university. I need to learn how to go about it. You cannot succeed in something you don't know about. That's just the truth. You need to learn, how do I really do this university thing? Even those of you that are in higher levels, maybe you finished your 100 level, your result was not that good, or maybe 200 levels so far, your result was not that good. You need to know that sometimes it's not just all about reading. It's not just all about, oh, you read, you prepare. Sometimes you might even read and you forget what you read. That's another thing that happens very well. So you need to change your mindset to a mindset of, how did they get this first class safe? How do they really get this first class? I want to know what people used to do. And once you know what you need to do and you work towards it, I can assure you, you get first class. You might not get 5.0, which is possible you can get, but you will get first class. First class is from 4.5 to 5.0. I'll talk about all those parts later, but you will get first class. So the first thing is you change your mindset. Okay. Then the second mistake that I see lots of students making is, you don't start reading on time. Yes, I know I talked about the fact that it's not always about reading, and I'll explain why I said it's not just about reading alone. But that does not, reduce the fact that you need to start reading early. You might not start reading like, okay, I want to read to pass exam. There's reading to pass exam. There's reading to understand. Most of us do reading to pass exam. We don't do reading to understand. Most people. But you need to do something I call blurry reading. That is, from the beginning of that semester, just start going over that thing. And there is a way you should go over your courses. When I'm talking about that blurry reading, there's a way you go about it. You need to start going through those books. You need to start going through those things, let it start sticking in your head little by little. In secondary school, most times, what you do is you wait till probably close to exam time before you now start firing the reading. It's going to backfire in university because you have a lot of PDFs, you have a lot of handouts, you have a lot of things that you need to cover. You cannot cover everything. Okay, so you need to start with blurry reading from the beginning of the semester. You can just lie down on your bed, go through whatever you did in class, check it, view it. If it's calculations, solve one or two examples, just close it. Does not need to be really intense. Maybe it's a theory course, just glance through it, read it, search about some things. Be like 1 hour is okay from the beginning. So that's one mistake that many students make. The third thing, which I think is very important, is most of you, this is another mistake that most students make that prevents you from getting first class. Most of you don't identify your strength points. And I will explain. See, everybody, we are different. Some of us, don't like reading. Like I said before, we don't really like reading, but we are very good at calculations. And there are some students that they hate anything calculations, they struggle with it, but they can read like hell. You see people in law, if you are studying law, you are studying, excuse me, you are studying nursing, you are studying okay, you are studying all those courses that you need to read. Most people that go there, they go there because they like reading. You will not see a law student say he likes maths. It's not possible. You will not see a nursing student say he or she likes maths. People that are maybe computer science, we might not really like the maths like that, but we are good at it to some level. The way computer science will still put body for maths, a law student might not really put body like that for that same course. So I need you to understand your strength points. Do you know why I'm saying you should understand your strength points? The reason is, in this university, everything is about calculations. If you want to get first class, you need to calculate down. Okay? And I'm still going to explain the part of getting the first class. You need to calculate down. Someone like me now, I love calculations. I don't, if I'm having any exam or test in any calculation course, I don't used to read for it. Maybe the night before the exam or the night before the test, I will now open book and say I want to do something. Those kind of courses, you should target that, okay, these kind of courses that are easier for me, whether it's calculation, whether it's theory, I must get A in those courses. Remember I say it's calculations, you are calculating it. So once you know that, okay, this course is simpler for me to do, I can easily get maybe 80 something in that course or 90 something. You will now focus more attention on the one that is difficult with the aim of getting maybe at least B, or week A, maybe all those 72A, 73, which is still A, but you cannot compare to all those 90 something, but it's still A. So that you will not just, because there's something that happens when you are trying to prepare for your exams or tests, and you are putting much energy on one course, and the course is going well as you're preparing for it, it's sweet. You are putting energy on something you are good at, whilst the ones that are so difficult, they are there sitting. And that's why some of those difficult courses, you now be getting low marks in them. Say you get C, D. C is even still good. You get D there, you get E there, you get F, because you were not preparing for those ones. And that's something you need to change. So you need to identify your strength points. Which courses are much more easier for you to do? Once you identify them, note them down. Not that you not still read them, but you will not, the effort you put on those harder ones might not be as much as the effort you put on those ones that are much easier for you. So you create a balance. Okay. I might forget, someone should remind me in the comments. I still need to talk about how you plan getting that first class. Like I said, everything is calculations, is the way you plan it. So the next mistake that some of students make that affects their first class is affects them getting first class, second class, upper grade, is you fail to identify or move closer to people that sabi book. And I understand, because most of these people that know book like that, they are not really social. Check them, go, except a minority of them. Most of them, they are not social. Their life is book. They can read like hell. I have some people like that in my course, in my department, sorry. As much as, let's say maybe I'm good a little, there are people that I know that they read more than me. There was a time we did one exam, and when the results for that particular course came out, I think I got 75. 75 is still A. 70 to, in my university, 70 to 100 is A. So I got 75. And I was happy. I secured my A. But there is this guy. The guy got 89, I guess. And he was complaining. Somebody that got 89 was complaining that, oh, he was supposed to get high, he was supposed to get higher. Those kind of people are the ones I'm talking about now. People with sabi book. You need to be able to identify them and move closer to them. You might not move closer to them because of social activities. Just have them for the purpose of the book. Because these people, there are some things that they would have read, and I'm going to give you a cheat code. Those people, anytime they read, ask them for whatever they jot down from their reading. Let them send it to you. That was what I used for my last semester exam. I won't lie. I didn't really have much time to read like that because I was doing tutorials for 200 level, 100 level at the time. So once those guys just read, I'll go and meet them. How far I beg? Your jottings, help me snap them, send them to WhatsApp. There are some things that they will see in whatever they read that will come out that you on a normal day, you reading it, you will not see it. You know go come. There is a way those people are programmed. There's a way they think. I don't know. But my main point is you get close to those kind of people. Very, very important. Get close to them for the purpose of passing. And who knows, maybe they might help you in other ways. Maybe during exam time or test time, they might be there for you and stuff like that. So another thing you need to stop doing as a student, if you really want to get this first class thing, is acknowledge your reading time. Most students don't do this. You read maybe when your mates are going to read, you want to go and read too at the same time. No, most of us, the way we assimilate is different. Some of us assimilate better at night. Maybe you read better at night, and some read better during the day. Know when you read better. There are some courses that if you read them during the day, it will not enter your head. I don't know what you want to do. It won't enter. And but because you want to follow your boyfriend or girlfriend to chat during the night, you will not say you want to read that course during the day with whoever is reading it amongst your clique or something. It will not enter. And by the time it now reaches exam time or something, you're not going to be pressuring yourself. And that's why you see most people say something like, after they read, I cease to forget what I read. I get a lot of complaints like that. And the first thing I would ask is, what's the best time for you to read? Before I even talk about any reading technique or whatever, I try to answer that question. Some of you, your best time for reading is during the day. Instead of you to read during that day, then maybe do other things during the night. You go and be playing or do something that are relevant. Then during the night now, you will now be forcing the book to enter. And then when it's now time for exam, you say, I did exam mode, and so the book disappeared. It did not disappear. The problem is when you're supposed to read that thing at the best time for yourself, you didn't read it. So you have to, do a kind of like personality test for yourself to know yourself. And there are some people that can read anytime, whether it's during the day or during the night. There's people that can read anytime. If you are such a person, then you don't have problem. But if you are not, and you might tell, on this live now, we don't know what is in our minds, but you yourself, sitting with yourself, I read best at night, or I read best during the day. If you are someone that reads best during the day or during a particular time during the day, and maybe one random student fix a class during that time that during the time you want to read, don't go. Sit down and use that time to read. Okay. Let me see what else I have here. Yeah, concerning this thing about finding brilliant people, I just want to say this. I'm not supposed to say like this, but I'll still say it anyway. Girls are much luckier. Girls find it easy to do. Listen about finding brilliant people and trying to clinch with them. Because especially if the person is a male, the brilliant person is a guy now, it's much easier for you to do as a girl. And you have to bank on that ability that you have. There are some posts that I'll see on TikTok where they say girls have different friends for different reasons. Different for book, different for buy me something, different for I want to use your ATM. all those stuff. If you have friend for book as a girl, please don't let anybody discourage you. It's okay to have friend as a girl, friend for book. And it's very easy for you to do if you're a girl to befriend a guy that has book. He might be thinking other things. Don't worry, leave that one. Your mind, say that book you won't get them for. No wahala. It's okay. Do it and do it with pride. Because if you eventually pass, nobody will question you that what is the friend or something. You do it for yourself. Okay. Um, there are three more mistakes that you make, and all this that I'm saying, I want you to go back to ponder over them, see what are the ones that I that apply to me. How can I improve? Just go back and look at it. The next thing is most students fail to find brilliant seniors, people in higher level. Girls again, most girls only, if you see any girl with anybody in higher level, maybe is the person she's dating or the person wants to date her. That's the most thing you see with girls. Again, I said if you have friends for different reasons, especially for book reason, is okay. I'm not against that, but you need to find somebody in higher level in your department wey sabi. There's a reason. I said university is different from secondary school, and that you need to know how things work if you want to get that first class. Those seniors know those lecturers that you are just getting to learn from better than you. They know what those lecturers want. They know what those lecturers, that whenever those lecturers see those things, they like it and they can give you marks. They know. They know those things that you will do that lecturers will not want to give you marks for, or maybe in your exams. They know. That is why you should have them. That is why you should have them. And join tutorials done by such seniors. There might be people in your level that are good too, yes, they're also very good academically. But I would advise you to join tutorials done by people in higher level, not people in your level. Because the tutorial that you are doing in university should not just be for, okay, I didn't understand something in class, I want to understand it. No. That is also part of it. But you should do tutorial because I want to know how to pass this course that I'm doing the tutorial on. I don't just want to understand what I did not get in class. I want to know how to pass it. And nobody knows how to pass the course better than somebody that has already taken that course. Go and ask people in higher level. They will tell you. Nobody knows how to pass a course better than somebody that has taken that course. Whether the person failed the course when he took it or he passed the course, he knows better than you that are just learning the course. So you look out for those people. You might have celebrities in your university. Yes, you might want to get close to those celebrities, which is not bad, but make sure you get close to senior wey sabi the book for that your department. In your department, your whether your college or whatever they call it in your university, is very, very important so that you know how to pass. Then the last thing I want to talk about is, which is what has really helped me a lot, and I see that many students don't usually use it like that, is most students don't know how to use AI tools to pass. AI, yes, most people don't know how to use AI tools. I use them a lot. It's not that I don't like reading, but I do tutorials, like I said before, so I don't really have time. Sometimes if I leave my hostel, maybe around that kind 2 o'clock in the afternoon, by 12, is until probably like 9 before I go back to where I'm staying. And then, when I still have other things I want to do, so I don't really have time to read. And there are so many things to read. So what do? I use a lot of AI tools. And when I'm talking about AI tools, I'm not just talking about ChatGPT. There are so many tools that most students don't even know about, that you need to know about. There are some lecturers that questions they will give you are from these AI tools. It happens very well. There was a student that asked me, the student is from Kenya, from my TikTok post. He messaged me and he was like, he needs AI tools that will help him with questions for exams or tests. And he was talking about ChatGPT. I said, it's not ChatGPT you need. ChatGPT is very common, is the best, yes, but there are so many other tools. Claude AI is there, DeepSeek is there, Grok is there, so many tools. And you need to know how to prompt these AI tools. You need to know how to prompt these AI tools. One thing that I need you to know now, and I'm just going to say it and leave there because I don't want to dwell too much on it in case others might be listening, apart from students. Maybe lecturers might also be watching or come across this webinar later. Most of these lecturers don't have time to set new questions. You need to know that. Except some that are very, very crazy. But most of them is still these past questions they've used that they will repeat. They will just change it a little bit. Now, with AI and certain prompts, you can be able to predict what will come out in your own exam from previous exams that lecturer has set for students. I've done it very well. My tutorial students have done it very well. It was until a point where the lecturers found out that my students were passing too much, and some of my students too, they used to close their mouths. They started opening their mouth and bragging that the question that came out was exactly what I gave them, or was exactly what I taught them. It was exactly the clinical, and some lecturers said about it, and they were like, exactly as our hair. That was when the lecturers started changing the exam pattern. They changed everything complete. This last set that I did tutorial for, the lecturers changed everything complete. They did not use the same pattern again. And that was because of them, they were at fault. But it can work for you. That was why I said I'm just going to say it and leave there. And I'll still be teaching you guys about using those AI tools and stuff across the series every Friday. After this Friday, we're going to do another webinar on Friday. If you're not in my WhatsApp channel, you need to join the WhatsApp channel. The link is in the description. Just click on the description of this live session. I'm going to see the link to the WhatsApp channel there. You need to be there because that's where I'm going to be dropping updates concerning the webinars and certain, snippets, things that I cannot drop out there on social media. I'll drop it in that my WhatsApp channel for you guys, for my people, so that you can see those things and use them for yourself. So those are some of the mistakes that can prevent you from getting first class. So you need to sit down and look at them. Which of those mistakes are you making? And how do you fix it? Okay. So the next thing we're going to look at now is how do you actually get the first class grade? How do you get it? Before I explain the things I have in my notes, I want to talk about getting first class on a broad level. Okay. The first thing is you have to understand your grading system in school. First class is from 4.5 to 5.0. Then I think second class upper is from 3.5 to 4.49 in some universities. So that means if you get 4.51, you have your first class. If you get 4.6, you have first class. It's not compulsory you get 5.0. It's just that 5.0 might give you maybe dignity. 5.0, you got all the mark. All that does not matter in university. Even now that I go 5.0, I'm on 5.0. It does not really matter. Now, for you to get first class, all you need to do is for you to get okay, let's say you want to get 5.0, for instance. Let's say you are keen on getting 5.0. All you need to do is get A in all your courses. I'm coming to normal first class. If you want to get 5.0 GPA, all you need to do is to get A in all your courses. And for you to get that A in all your courses, it doesn't mean you need to get 100, 90 something. I will give you my own personal story. When I just gained admission into university, my 100 level first semester, I didn't have anything less than 80 in my scores. It was 98, 90 something, 80 something. That was my best ever 5.0, best ever. My maths, MTH 101, I got 98 over 100. I got 70 in the exam and stuff. But by the time I got to second semester, 100 level, the courses were becoming more difficult, and my time was also becoming constrained. I didn't have much time like that first semester. So I had to sit down and I was like, I'm not sure I can keep up with this 90 something again. There are people that were still keeping up with it. Those people that I said they can use their life to read. I mean, I'm not that kind of person. I have other things that I'm doing with my time. So I just had to set the target that, okay, this course, since 70 to 100 is A in some universities, 70 to 100 is A, while in some universities, 75 to 100 is A. B is 60 to 69. C is 50 to 59, I guess. So that means if I can get 72 is A. The person that got 90 something and I that got 72, we are still on the same A. So by the time I realized this, I just decided that, okay, for every course in that second semester, since second semester ends forth, I'll look at my courses. That was why I talked about the part of understanding your strength points. I'll look at the courses. Okay, these courses are much easier for me. Maybe I can decide to get 80 something in those ones. I can decide to aim for 80 or 90. But those courses that were difficult for me, I'll just put my aim to be 79 or 81, because most times when you aim for something, you fall down below that thing. So I'll put my aim, I should get maybe 80 something or maybe 70 something. And at the end of the day, I'll get like 71, 72, 73, 74. That was how it was, 70, 70, which is still A. So you have to understand that first. That, okay, since A is from 70 to 100, don't stress yourself about getting 100, about getting 90. You don't need all of that. When you know that, okay, my target is, let's say you set your target to be 79 in a particular course. Attendance might carry mark 10 marks. Don't miss attendance. So if you go to class regularly, or if you cannot even go to class regularly, let's say you can call somebody to sign attendance for you, call the person. So if your attendance is complete, let's say attendance you get like 9 marks out of 10. That means it remains 90 marks. Exam is 70, then your test or whatever you use, whatever your lecturer will use is 20 marks. So that means if I can get, let's say, 45 in my exam, plus 9 marks that I already have, that is that's what, 53, if I'm not mistaken, or 54. That's 54. And my target is 75. That means for me to get 75, now after getting, let's say, 45 in exam, my test has to be something like 2020, which is not realistic enough. So let's say you get 10 attendance, and your exam, you're able to get your test or the remaining 20 marks, you're able to get maybe 13 or 14. That makes it 24. For you to now secure 70 something, you will need at least 50 something over 70 in your exam. So all these things, you calculate it. So if you calculate it, once you know that attendance is sure, by the time you see, and the 20 marks depends, it varies. Some universities, some lecturers will say you should buy their textbook to get their 20 marks, or buy their handout. Some will say you should pay for something or something. Pay, get the 20 marks plus attendance 10 marks. That's 30 marks. Then you know that the remaining place left for you to fight is exam. So if you can just try to get 40 something in exam, you do everything you can to get like 40 something in exam. You have gotten your 70 something, which is A. So everything is calculation. Once you can calculate it, this course, I want to get 70 something. This course is easy for me. I can manage 80 something here. This course, this one is going to be tough a little. Let me try to get 72. You get your A's. And once you can get A's all through, that's 5.0. Now, you might not want to get 5.0. Maybe you just want to get first class. If you have a couple of A's and a couple of B's, that is still first class. So what will you do? B now is 60 to 69. So you target yourself too. Maybe you are not the 5.0 type person, but you are looking towards at least getting first class, maybe 4.6, 4.7. There are some courses that might be difficult. You might just say, on this course, I want to get B here. Yeah, 60 something, maybe 65. Let me target 65 for this one. This one too is somehow difficult. I might not get A in this one. Let me target 62 here. Now, what does it take for you to get 65? First thing is your 10 marks, attendance or whatever, 10 marks. Then the remaining 20 marks, whatever way you might get the remaining 20 marks, it might be test. Let's just say your 20 marks, you get, let's say, 12. 10 plus 12, that's 22. And your target is 62. That means the remaining mark you need to get in your test is 40 something over 70. So you can see that it's calculation. So you might not really need to stress that I want to get 90, I want to get 100. Yeah, most people, your parents will be very proud of you if you get the highest mark, 100, 90. That's in secondary school, it's not university. No parents will ask you for your GPA and be asking you what mark do you get in MTH 101? What mark do you get it? Their own is just to hear the grade. What's your GPA? 4 point something. Very good. Is it first class or second class upper? Is second class upper. Okay, that's okay. Nobody will ask you, do you get 100, 100 or do you get 92 or 100? They don't care at that point. So you should be the one calculating what you want to get. So I just want to make that clear. You can decide what you want to get and aim for it. Whether it is 5.0, you can decide how you want to get your A's. Or normal first class, you can decide how you want the grade to be. Is it maybe 5A, 4B, 1C? You can still, structure it. So let's continue. How do you get those first class grades? I've talked about understanding your grading system and deciding what marks you want to get. That's the first thing I highlighted here. The second thing, I've also mentioned it when I was talking about mistakes, is you need to join tutorials done by higher level students. Compulsory. Make it mandatory for yourself. Compulsory to join tutorials. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. I'm seeing somebody here typing something. So you need to join tutorials done by higher level students. Compulsory. I've explained it before, but I'll just touch other parts that I did not explain when I was talking about the mistakes. Tutorials done by higher level students. And even when you are trying to do tutorials done by higher level students, don't just pick any higher level student. If you are getting to a new university, okay, and there is a particular tutorial that people are mentioning, anybody you meet about tutorial, they mention this particular tutorial. In my university now, my tutorial is kind of the number one. So anybody you ask, they will say, okay, attend Ultimate Tutorial Series, attend UTS. Okay, my nickname is Ultimate, so Ultimate Tutorial Series, they call me Ultimate. So in some universities, they might say this tutorial. That tutorial people are mentioning is where you should go. And I don't care how much. They don't really charge much for tutorials in university like that. Nobody will come and say you should pay 20,000, 30,000 for tutorial. You might just be paying a little monthly fee, maybe 5K per month or 6K per month, or that's how they'll just do it. Attend those tutorials that have name. Any tutorial you see that has name in any universities, because that tutorial has track record. People have attended that tutorial and it has helped them, that is where you should go. Because anybody taking that tutorial, that person has experience of, it's not just teaching you the course that, okay, maybe because you didn't understand it in class, he wants you to understand. No, he'll be teaching you from the experience that he has gained from he himself or she herself doing that course when she was at your level, then training other students to do that course. She knows or he knows what the lecturer taking that course is looking out for in your test or is looking out for in your exam. He knows, she knows. Or maybe things you should write, the way you should answer certain questions. They know, they will explain. Some of them, I do it a lot in my tutorial. I do mock test or mock exam. Now, in that mock test or mock exam, after the mock test, my students have written that test or exam, I'll mark it the way I know the lecturer will mark it. Then by the time I'm doing correction or explaining, I will now be dropping those updates. This is what you should do in this place. This is what you should write here. This is what you should. Don't omit this one. Don't do this one. Take notes. There are some things that are so minute that if you don't have them, it might cost you a lot of marks. The person taking MTH 101, which is maths, in my university now, under set, I just want to give you an example. If you did maths in secondary school, everybody did maths in secondary school. SS1. Sorry, set is one of the topics that you are going to do. Where you have all these curly brackets, 1, 2, 3, 4, where they taught you guys Venn diagram. So this lecturer, there are some sets that they must be ... at the end. Like maybe you write 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, then maybe comma ... must be at the end. If you don't put that ... that lecturer will fail the entire question. Why there are some lecturers that they might omit it in my university, and check your universities around. That's why I say you should attend tutorials from those in higher levels. Those are the people that can tell you that this ... put it, write it, or this thing, put it. There are some lecturers that are so crazy, they are such crazy that small thing that you do not put, because of that small thing, you might fail the entire question. And by the time you say maybe you feel like you're supposed to pass more than this, let me call for my scripts. You call for your scripts, you will put yourself in more mess. So you need to join tutorials done by people in higher level. No matter how brilliant people are in your department or your current level, no matter how brilliant anybody is, even if it's Albert Einstein in your current level, if he is doing tutorial and there's someone else in higher level doing tutorial that his own tutorial is very known, reputable in the university, go for his own. That's the first thing you need to do if you want to get first class. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to talk about here is, I've not mentioned this before, start studying with past questions. Let me shed more light on this part. I talked about reading from the beginning of the semester. I said you should do blurry reading, where you go over the stuffs a little bit from the beginning. When I say you should read from the beginning of semester, I'm not saying you should read from the beginning. Read now. You might be coming with that spirit from secondary school, because from secondary school you're molded to read. No. Okay. What you need to do that will really help you, really help you, is any course you start learning, make sure you get past questions, exam past questions, or maybe tests if you do tests in your university on that course from people in higher level. Get at least 3 years back, your current year, the past question of the last set before your set, then 2 sets before that set. Make sure you get those past questions. Now, any topic the lecturer is taking you, go and check the past questions that you have. What are the kind of questions that come under that topic? That is what you should be using to read. It's not that you should read, they give you PDF of 100 pages. You start reading from the beginning of university. You can. I'm not saying you should not. But for someone that might not really have that much time, this is a better option. So you check when the lecturer gives you your handout or your notes or whatever, you check that past question. What are the kind of questions that came out under this topic? You will now go and read that topic based on those past questions. You are preparing yourself. You are preparing yourself. Studying with past questions is the number one cheat code for first class, especially for lecturers that repeat questions or they give you questions that are similar, is the number one cheat code. And to now make this even more better, you should use AI with those past questions. How do you use AI? There are certain ways you prompt AI, and the best AI I recommend for this is Claude AI, but you can still use ChatGPT. Concerning using AI tools to help you, I created an ebook on that. I put it out last year, I think, for students. About 1,450 students got it and, gave me amazing testimonials and stuff. I've also talked about the book in the description of this video. Just click on the description, click on more. The description of this video, you're going to see it there. Get the ebook. It's not free, but it's just 1,000 naira, so it's really, really cheap. Nothing should be stopping you from getting it. So just go there, get it. You're going to see a lot of those tools and how you can use them. Tools that you can use to predict exam questions. You can use to summarize all those your lengthy books. You might not be able to read all the books you have in university, but there are AI tools you can use to summarize all those things. Tools that you can use to help you with maths. If you are not someone that is really, really good at maths, okay. And I also I gave prompts, exact prompts that you use, not that you just go there and be typing nonsense in the AI tools. Just copy the prompt that I used in the book. It's an ebook, it's not that lengthy. You can read it in one night. In fact, in 30 minutes, you'll be done. But the main thing is you get the prompts, use them with the AI tools. It's going to help you a lot. A lot. I can tell you for a fact because I've done it so many times. 200 level second semester, I didn't have much time to read. There was a particular lecturer that it was a week to exam that she sent us PDF of about 300 pages. After she already gave us handouts from beginning of the semester. She now sent another PDF of 300 and something pages a week before the exam. Those people that I said they like reading, they already started reading it. And me, I do tutorials, so I don't really have much time to read like that. What I would just do is I'll get that PDF, whatever, go to the AI tools, whichever one I know will work for what I want. If it's summarizing it I need, I'll summarize it. I'll get possible questions that can come out from that PDF, and I'll use my past questions coupled with the PDF to prompt that AI tool to give me likely questions. Very, very important. And it really helped me. That particular course, I think I got 81 in the course, 81. I didn't really read like that. That is why I'm, talking about the AI stuff very well. So if you are done with this live session, you go and get that book. Just click on the link in the description. You're going to see it there. Then the next thing I need to talk about concerning how you get first class grades. The next thing I wrote here, I've talked about that. Befriending people that are really, really good in your level. Nothing beats that thing. And this one too, I'm also just going to say it a little bit and leave there. When I say you should befriend someone that is brilliant, you yourself need to be wise when you are doing it. Okay, you need to be smart. You meet a lot of brilliant people in your set that know book. You meet a lot of them, but you need to be able to distinguish between those that can really help you and those that, because there are some people that come with this secondary school mentality that I want to be first. There's no first in university. There's no first position. Nobody gives a damn about you being first. There's nothing like first position. So there are some students that they are good, but they will come and they'll be like, they cannot help you because they want to be the first. Or maybe uh, they know what to tell you that will help you, but they will not tell you because they want to use it for themselves. So you need to be able to, try to know who you go for. There are some students that are brilliant that they will help you from heaven to earth. When I say they will help you from heaven to earth, you should be able to reach what I'm talking about. They will explain, they will teach you, they will help you. Even say exam, or if there's room for them, maybe you forgotten one answer to tell you, they will tell you. Those are the ones you should look for. There was a really sad incident that happened in my, I think, 100 level second semester. So there was a particular guy, he also attends my tutorial, okay? But that day, the exam day, he sat beside one of these gurus that we have. But this particular guy that I'm calling guru is the category of people that I'm saying they want to be the first. They don't, they can help you small, but helping you to the point where you will pass them, that lie, possible. So that was the person he sat beside. And there's a particular question that he forgot, or maybe he didn't know the answer. So he asked the guy, and the guy told him wrong answer. So it was when he came back and met me, and I was like, no, that's not the answer. He gave him wrong answer because he does not want him to pass him. Leave those ones. If they put you and them in exam or say, if you can request for a change in seat, request for the change in seat. Don't sit there. Those ones, they are not really there to help you. You find people that they are nice, they want you to pass. If you both get first class, if you both get second class upper, it did good for everybody. Those are people you should find. Try to move closer to them, maybe read with them, just befriend them, even if it's for the purpose of passing, befriend them. Very, very important. The last thing I would want to talk about, because I just want us to spend 1 hour 30 minutes today. Okay, since it's been the first day, sometimes I need to do the sessions to go really far, very, very far. Okay. Before I talk about it, I would want you guys to take a screenshot of this session, maybe post it on your status, your Instagram, your social media handles. Just talk about the experience of the session. You can tag me, Olakende Anif, the name on this broadcast, my name on Instagram, Olakende Anif, small letter, everything, small case, join together. Just post it there, talk about it. And if you have any questions, maybe after this session, there are questions you want to ask, you can just message me on Instagram. Once you search Olakende Anif on Instagram, you're going to see me there. You can message me on Instagram. I'm going to respond to your questions. Any question you have, any day, anytime. Okay. So the last thing I want to talk about is reading. Reading. Reading in university is a very important topic, and it's not something that I should just talk about in 10 or 15 minutes. In fact, next week we're going to continue from there. So we're going to really dwell into how do you really read to pass. You yourself, if you are someone in university currently already, you can testify to the fact that sometimes you read and what you read will leave your head. I've talked about reading at your best times. Yes, that one too is important. But there are other things you need to do that will really aid your reading that most people don't talk about. Most people. There are so many reading techniques that you've not heard of that you need to try. There are so many. Probably you try like 5 of them, you see the one that best suits you. That once you use that one, anything you read, at least till the time you write the exam, you will not forget. So many reading tips, so many tools that would help you in reading. There's some kind of songs that you need to listen to when you are reading. I'm not talking of normal song that you be listening to the song and you are reading. Before you know it, your mind is no more in the book. Your mind is in the song. No, there is something they call brain waves that you need to be listening to while you're reading. It's going to help. Scientifically, it assists with reading. And so many other things surrounding this reading that we're going to talk about next week, Friday as well. Same time, 9 p.m., same live session like this. Okay. But I'm just going to drop a little bit of it today. Find out, I'm going to give you this as an assignment if you're watching this now. Go and research reading techniques that can aid your reading, help you read better, and not forget what you've read, as well as help you pass better. The way I said it, reading techniques that can aid your reading, help you read better, not forget whatever you've read, and pass better. Make your research. You can, whatever you get from that, you can send it to me on Instagram. Let me see what you get. There are so many reading techniques. The best reading technique that I use is the Feynman's technique. I use it a lot. I use it a lot because, as I do tutorials, it is the best technique I can use because I also teach my level, you get. So it helps me to not read too much. Feynman's technique is a technique that involves you reading what you need to read, that thing you want to read, whether it's your handout or your whatever. Then you try to teach it to other people. Now, I do tutorials now, so it's natural for me to teach other people. So that is why I use the Feynman's technique. You teach other people. In the process of teaching other people, there might be some gaps. There might be some things you'd miss. Okay? So by the time you teach them, go back to that resource. That's the Feynman's technique. You go back to that resource, you read that thing again to see, okay, when I was teaching, I missed this part. When I was explaining this to them, I missed this part. You read those parts that you missed, then try to teach again. Trust me, it works like magic. You know why it works? Because when it's time for exam or something, and you are trying to answer a particular question, or maybe the answer is trying to leave your brain or something, the moment you are trying to explain that thing, it will connect. Okay, this thing I'm trying to remember, I said it this way when I was explaining. The answer will come. Now, not everybody might be opportune to be able to teach people. Okay, if you are not able to teach people, maybe you cannot gather people you will teach or explain to, you can just do a what will I call it? You can do a kind of imaginary teaching. Just maybe stay in front of your mirror or something and act as if you are explaining. Act as if you are explaining a topic to somebody. Act as if you are explaining. Or if you have study groups, that's another thing you need to have in university. Study groups, group of friends that you read together, you try to study together. You might tell them that, okay, I want to explain this topic. Explain it. You see that in the process of explaining it, you might need to be checking your book from time to time. Those things you are checking is because those are the gaps. So you note them as you are teaching, you are explaining, you are noting those gaps, you are explaining, you are noting those gaps. By the time you now go back to read that thing, it's not just going to be the book entering your head now, the experience from that teaching. Okay, this when I was explaining this thing, we all laughed. You will not forget that point you explained when you all laughed. When I was explaining this thing, people were like, come on, go. You went back to explain it again. You will not forget that point. That's just one of the reading techniques. There are so much more. I have like 8 or 9 or 10 of them. And we're going to be looking at all of those things next week. So what I want you to do now is, like I said, I gave you the assignment. Try to make your research. What are those reading techniques that you can apply? Make your research. Whatever you get, send it to me on Instagram. Let me see if you are online with what we are saying. Then another thing is, you need to get that book I talked about. That was why I added it to the description, so that you are going to get exposed to how AI can help you. You need to use AI. I'm not going to lie to you. Anybody that tells you, oh, you read 20 hours, 20 hours a day without eating, let them read 20 hours a day. You don't need to read 20 hours a day. Life is too difficult to make it more difficult for yourself. But you can use AI tools a lot. That's going to help you in so many ways. Remember, I told you, for you to succeed at anything, you have to know how to use that thing. Now, if you want to succeed in your academics with AI or whatever, you have to know how to use it. There's certain prompts, there's certain things that this stuff I'm talking about, this AI stuff I'm talking about is so good that there's some of my students that they are currently going to 200 level nursing. And when the girl was about to go into that 200 level, she was like, can I still use these AI tools the way you said we should use them? Will it still work? I said it will work. It works. I'm in 300 level. It works. So just check the description. I'm going to see the link to that book. Go get it. It's not that long. If you sit down within 20 minutes, you're going to finish it and just get the key points there and apply them, or save it for later when you need to apply them. It's not free, yes, but it's just one key. So there's no barrier saying you should not be able to get it. So we're going to end this live session now. Before we go, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments so that I can respond to them. If you have any questions before we go, maybe anything you want to get clarity on, or anything you are not sure, you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I'm seeing the comments now before I go. And if there are no questions, then I'm going to end the session. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let's see how we can respond before 10:30. I think there are no questions. Okay. No questions. So, in the absence of questions, we're going to stop this live session now. I'm just going to play the mock-up that I played at the beginning of the live. So, just to motivate you a little bit.
Despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way.
This is another live session. Hold on.
Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. He can't beat death, but he can beat death in life, sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight. Beware those who seek constant crowds, for they are nothing alone. Beware the average man, the average woman. Beware their love. Their love is average, seeks average. They will attempt to destroy anything that differs from their own. Not being able to create art, they will not understand art. Stay out of the clutches of mediocrity. Invent yourself and then reinvent yourself. Change your tone and shape so often that they can never categorize you. Reinvigorate yourself and accept what is, but only on the terms that you have invented and reinvented. Be self-taught and reinvent your life because you must. It is your life, and its history and the present belong only to you. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean